let's talk about some toxic traits, guys. Let's talk about some toxic traits. So let me scroll down on the old things here. And on this beautiful Toxic Tuesday, the Chicago Bears guys have reached out to the Dallas Cowboys, Mark, to interview Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones has yet to respond to the Bears on this issue. But Jerry Jones did say in a press conference that if Mike McCarthy wants to explore his other options, go do it. I don't want to force anybody to stay here if they don't want to stay here. Spoiler alert, Jerry Jones has yet to extend or sign Mike McCarthy beyond this season, which the contract ends next Monday. So, Mark, I'm going to ask you this question first. Is Jerry Jones the most toxic owner in the NFL?
Well, I'm going to answer your question. Yes, I've been saying forever that he's like the new Al Davis, except that he's worse. Because Al Davis was actually kind of a genius, even though I hate to give any kind of Raiders credit. Al Davis was kind of an innovator that he knew that teams needed to go to places and build stadiums. Like he was kind of an innovator for his time. Jerry Jones is not that. He's a very good businessman, but I'm sorry, he's no genius. And if I don't know if you guys you said that McCarthy wasn't given permission, but they came out today before the show that he was denied permission to go talk to the Bears, which I think is not cool. I think this is a total ego move by Jerry Jones saying, no, you're not going anywhere, even though he doesn't have a contract and all that stuff. Like you said, personally, I think McCarthy needs to leave, get out of this toxic environment that they call the Dallas Cowboys, and go somewhere else. And maybe teaching Caleb Williams might be the answer. He did help Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl. Who knows?
Yeah, so just a fun fact here, guys. There are two coaches right now that have 11 plus 10 win seasons, and one of them is Mike Tomlin, and the other one is Mike McCarthy. Just want to put that out there. Hoffy, is Jerry Jones the most toxic owner in the NFL?
Well, first off, how very Bears like to want to, interview Mike McCarthy, someone that, you have a potentially great quarterback, young guy that needs to learn. And I don't think McCarthy's system is very quarterback friendly. I know that him and Aaron Rodgers were successful, but I think he made Dak's life harder as a quarterback. But that said, I don't think that Jerry Jones is the most toxic owner. I think the New York Jets, Woody Johnson, is more toxic. At least
Good one.
At least the Cowboys have made the playoffs. At least they give us some good entertainment. Whereas Woody Johnson is just an idiot. I mean, he ixnayed a trade that would have brought Jerry Jeudy, who's 25 years old, to the Jets. You could have had the two unbelievable superstar wide receivers in Jeudy and Wilson, who 2 years ago was the offensive rookie of the year. They had the defensive and offensive rookie of the year that year, and they've fallen apart since then. So I think that Woody Johnson is the most toxic owner. But I will say that Jerry Jones is the most toxic GM. He can't keep his mouth shut.
So isn't that Ambassador Woody Johnson? You better put some respect on his name. You better put some respect on that, Hoffy.
Yeah, he should go overdose on his own Johnson shot or whatever the heck that COVID thing is he came up with.
But so, Mark, you were saying that Jerry Jones is the most toxic owner in the NFL, and Mark
said he's the most toxic for his team. I think Woody Johnson is probably the most toxic owner. I have to agree with Hoff.
Yeah. So there we go. So earlier, like we had a comment, I believe, I don't remember who it was from. It was from your Broncos fan, right? It said, "How can the Cowboys get rid of Jerry Jones?" And you aren't going to be able to get rid of Jerry Jones. What Jerry Jones needs to do is hire a general manager, right? Jerry Jones needs to get out of his own way and hire a general manager. So at least Woody Johnson has a general manager. Mark, would this change your opinion of Jerry Jones if they were to hire a general manager and Jerry Jones can just own and then the manager can manage?
Yeah, it would, but he's never going to do that, dude. His ego is this freaking big. Like, there's no way that he's going to give up that control. He came out recently and was like, I bought the team, so this is something I can do for the next 40 years. The guy's nuts, bro. Like, he's the most meddling owner there is. I know Woody Johnson did some stuff, but I mean, the stuff that Jerry Jones has done with contracts and the way he's done with players, like, I've said this numerous times, that he just wants to be relevant. He doesn't care if they win or lose. As long as the Dallas Cowboys are, like, topic of conversation, that's all he cares about.
As Hoffy knows this, sex sells. Even though it's bad or good, it's still sex and it still sells, right?
I mean, what GM is going to want to take that position, though? Because they know darn well that even if they come in as the GM, they're still going to have to run every decision by Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones is still going to, be in that locker room. He needs to just completely step back and just sit up in his booth, collect his money, enjoy the fact that he owns a football team. But he's never going to do that. Like Mark said, his ego is just, it's too big. He will never take a back seat and allow people that are qualified to do their job. Yes, I get it. They were America's team. They were successful, but they could have been even more successful. Got rid of Jimmy Johnson. He ran some pretty great coaches out of town. So he's an idiot.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer was the 2 Super Bowl winning coaches, right?
And he pushed out Bill Parcells.
Yeah, and Bill Parcells
pushed out Parcells.
Yep.
Deion Sanders,
and then he kept Jason Garrett for 13 years, right?
Way too long.
Right. So Laura says, but the real question is, does Dallas let Mike McCarthy go? His contract is expired next Monday. I believe it's January 15th. As if they don't extend him, it doesn't matter. He's a free agent, right? But personally, if I was Mike McCarthy, I don't care if the Dallas Cowboys offer me $118 million a season. I am not staying there because everything that I do gets undermined, much like you guys are saying, because of the toxic owner of Jerry Jones. So, Hoffy, if you are Mike McCarthy, if Jerry Jones offers you, let's say, $30 million a season to coach the Dallas Cowboys for the next 4 seasons, are you taking that offer?
Yeah, because then, after this season, I'm probably getting fired, and then I'm going to sit my ass on the couch for next 3 years and collect $30 million a year to watch football.
Dude, Jerry Jones doesn't do that, man.
If I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm running for that, Chicago Bears opportunity or any other opportunity that comes my way. But I think Jerry Jones is a sleazeball, and right now he's reaching out to, the Vrabel, the Johnsons, all these guys that are out there to gauge their interests before he decides what to do with Mike McCarthy, and I'm sure that's tampering and whatnot when you have a coach still under contract. But I don't trust the guy as far as I could throw him, even though he's 100 pounds. I could probably throw him pretty far.
Mark, you know all about bad coaches there in Denver with Nathaniel Hackett. You guys couldn't push him out fast enough. But we were just talking about Mike McCarthy potentially being fired, 2 months ago? And now we're talking about him getting extended. Mark, if you are Mike McCarthy, are you staying in Dallas if given the
If I'm Mike McCarthy, dude, I am running. I am waiting for those days to end in the contract, and I'm going to listen to all offers. And if the Bears are an option, I think that he's more of a fit for Jacksonville, personally.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably. I think you're right. So, Laura, I do think Dallas does eventually let Mike McCarthy go. I think Mike McCarthy is like their back burner guy, right? Hoffy, you know all about this, right? You keep this girl on the back burner, kind of string her along while you're looking for other girls, right?
Don't tell the wife.
Yeah,
seriously. Hopefully my wife's not.
And if this girl says no, yeah, this girl's still here, right? So that's kind of, I feel like, what is going on and what makes Jerry Jones so toxic, right?
Yeah, I mean, this Dallas Cowboys team has talent on their roster, but they've lost the locker room. And I don't think that's because of Mike McCarthy. I think it's because of Jerry Jones. And I don't think once it's lost the way it's lost that you can get that back. I think that this team, you got to look at, Micah Parsons on his podcasts and whatnot. I mean, just foaming at the mouth with comments that, any other team that they wouldn't be discussing those things or that wouldn't come out. So I think that, this toxicity, et cetera, is just running through the building, and it's not something that can be fixed. So I'm running if I'm McCarthy.
So my man, pigskin pundit, Mr. Casey Morgan, he's and he says, watch this. Next season, Jerry Jones will be the owner, general manager, and head coach.
No, he'll make his son the head coach, but
yeah, and then
same thing.
And then micromanage him every which way. Hold the flashlight still. Here, give it to me. Let me do it, right? And sorry, I just had PTSD. Laura says
Seriously, he gave me PTSD.
Laura says, so does Mike Zimmer step up next season? No, Mike Zimmer might
No.
find his way out.
He runs too.
Yeah.
They all run.
Mark, what are your thoughts about Mike Zimmer potentially being a head coach?
No, that guy got lucky that he's a coordinator there.
Yeah.
There wasn't many jobs opening for him. The reason that he probably got that job is because he's got connections there. Jerry Jones was familiar with him, and that's why they brought him in.
Yeah.
Zimmer's going to be in college next year.
You think so?
That's how. I don't think any other team wants him, and I think he would rather go to coach a college defense than
North
stay
Carolina.
with the Cowgirls.
North Carolina bound, right? North Carolina.
No, because Bill Belichick's son Steve is already there. So
Oh, is he? Okay.
so maybe he'll go to Washington and take Steve Belichick's
there you
defense coordinator position there.
Richard, I see your question. Hold that thought, man. Hold that thought. Just want to let you know. And then Derek says the promised ring not turning into a engagement ring because there's no Super Bowl ring. Not bad. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next toxic